I'm Merlin, the wizard.
There aren't any wizards left.
I'm the last of them.
Take 5, pick up. Take 1. 250, Bravo, take 1.
And I think the great classics are a great appeal. They've appealed for centuries for good reasons, and they continue to hold their appeal.
And it'll be something that that will have a sort of magical element that you won't really have seen before.
Who dares wake me?
I am Merlin, and this is Excalibur.
Yes, it's heroes. It's very basic stuff. It's heroes and villains, and set in a time which is mysterious.
And it's so nice to have the resources to create something that really has a scale to it. This is a cinematically vast, almost epic production.
Merlin. Action! It's one of the great sagas of recorded history. Parts of the saga have become part of our very culture. King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, Excalibur, the Holy Grail. But the entire rich tapestry of this history has never really been explored before, not with Merlin as the tour guide.
Paganism is just giving way to Christianity, and England is founded. And this is an incredible legend, and never was told as a whole. It always was picked on as Camelot or King Arthur or the love story or whatever. But it never really had an overview.
I wish to vouch for Sir Lancelot of the Lake. He wishes to enter the jousts.
Who exactly was Merlin? The fact is, there's an awful lot we don't know about him. Sam Neill, who plays the title character in the Hallmark Entertainment NBC miniseries, studied the man in the era while a student at university in his native New Zealand.
There were many people who were Merlin, and there was no one that was Merlin. He's a character from myth.
But the Holy Grail was lost to us. Many men searched for it, but no one has seen it since. But one day, a man with a pure heart will find it, and peace and happiness will return.
Isabella Rossellini, who plays Merlin's beloved Nimue, did not study the great Merlin myth at school in Italy, but when she joined this cast, she buried herself in research.
And also I found out that this version is actually incredibly rooted to the tradition, which I didn't expect. When I've read it, I thought, oh, must be our version, and we film people take a lot of license. But when I read more about it, I saw how much instead it was rooted to something that had been told before.
Production began on the Merlin miniseries just 6 months before its scheduled air date. The initial locations were in Wales. Although it was winter, the weather, for the most part, cooperated. Merlin was a homecoming of sorts for much of the creative team. More than a dozen members of the crew had worked a year earlier on Hallmark Entertainment's The Odyssey, and before that on Gulliver's Travels, both for NBC.
There are 3 classes of magic.
After they wrapped in Wales, the 150-person company moved to London's fabled Pinewood Studios, where they took over 4 sound stages. They also took over the back lot, where in just 4 weeks they built an 8-story high castle, under the supervision of production designer Roger Hall.
The idea was you locked yourself in there and no one came in, and that was it. That's the idea. Ready, and action.
When weather allowed, and even sometimes when it didn't, cast and crew decamped to a forest near Pinewood. And during this unusually warm English winter, instant snow was the order of the day.
Okay, ready. And action, Sam.
When magic is at the core of a story, and it certainly is in Merlin, conventional filmmaking just doesn't work. Steve Barron was chosen to direct Merlin largely because the producers knew that he loved experimenting. Here he's using what's called a snorkel lens, which can shoot tight and then track with amazing depth of field. The results can be both eerie and powerful. Special effects are used extensively in Merlin. Here, for example, the Steadicam is tracking a non-existent butterfly. It'll be added later thanks to state-of-the-art computer-generated images, known as CGI.
Pick up. Angry hammers.
Here we go.
The Odyssey used CGI in 200 places. Merlin uses it 450 times.
We can't change that. But we can change form. We can change form.
Steve Barron has won several MTV Music Video Awards. His film credits include such effects-heavy features as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and The Adventures of Pinocchio.
Done with it.
Another asset that Barron brought to the Merlin party is that he's a veteran of the Jim Henson Creature Shop. These master manipulators lent their expertise to Merlin, as they'd done earlier to the Odyssey and Gulliver's Travels.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here we go now. Ready, let's do it.
But while things like mechanical creatures and CGI and special lenses are important, so for Merlin was the ability to direct on a large canvas. For example, orchestrating Dr. Zhivago-like battle scenes. Steve Barron says the acute pressure to have Merlin ready for broadcast just 6 months after the first frame of film moved through the camera gate may actually have made for a more compelling picture.
It's just everything's got to go. But often I think you get a great adrenaline from knowing that you just have to do it. You just have to get in there and really race. Okay, you get a pace going, which actually translates into the film.
That's it, at that point you went dressing the job.
The question asked most often on and off the Merlin set, how was such an astonishing cast assembled for this project? Sam Neill in the title role of Merlin, Isabella Rossellini as Nimue, his beloved, Miranda Richardson as Mab, Merlin's arch-enemy, Martin Short as Frick, Mab's faithful lieutenant, Helena Bonham Carter as Morgan, Mab's malevolent creation, Rutger Hauer as the evil King Vortiger,
Die!
and a stellar cast of England's finest actors, led by Sir John Gielgud.
You have your dream cast and you have your number ones and your number twos, and in fact you have your number 22s, and often it gets down to the 22. In this case, we have been so blessed because we've had our number one in just about every case.
Frick, what are you doing?
Writing fairy stories, so you'll be remembered.
Because their parts are so deliciously campy, Martin Short and Miranda Richardson probably had more fun than anybody else on the Merlin set.
For us, things are going rather well for us.
I'm encrusted with gemstones and things like that. This is always a good thing to have. Always a good thing. Must be red. You know, blood, power, etc. I think the hair, I think she just likes her hair like this, actually. I don't think there's any rhyme nor reason, really. It's rather good. Warrior-like.
You're tall for a gnome, aren't you?
Well, as a matter of fact, gnomes do indeed come in all shapes and sizes. I'm the tall kind.
Can you do magic?
Playing Mab's sidekick Frick is an actor's dream. Martin Short gets to play a galaxy of characters.
I am at your service.
I've got to concentrate. These are treacherous waters.
strong currents, unseen rocks. Arr! Follow me. Don't get lost. Who need no words nor gestures. Waterfalling.
When Martin Short was working, there was seldom a serious moment on the Merlin set. Pity the interviewer trying to get straight answers from the irrepressible Martin Short. Question: why did you sign up for Merlin?
Well, it was a mighty fine paycheck. And on top of which, there must be other reasons. Come back to that.
Question: what's it like working with Helena Bonham Carter?
Yeah, how cute is Helena Bonham Carter? He said, happily married for many years. Hi, man. I'm just saying she's cute. It's nothing deeper than that. Or the kids. It's good. I'll phone you.
Question: was the script changed to accommodate Martin Short and Miranda Richardson?
Well, it changed because originally it was written for Roseanne and Tom Arnold. Then they split. And then they had to do some rethinking, reshuffling, you see.
Do you defy me? Of course I defy you. I've always defied you. What you made me do.
Throughout Merlin, Miranda Richardson does amazing things with her voice. The sounds that leave her lips appear to emerge from deep within her soul.
Whatever's going on here, whatever this registers, I wanted the voice to be something very apart from that. And I wanted it to have a magic quality, which means that I can speak apparently very quietly, but just know that anybody and everybody can hear, whether it's, Vortigern 200 yards away or somebody right here.
Take it back, lady!
Miranda Richardson plays two parts in Merlin. She's also Lady of the Lake.
So again, whatever is going on with the face, there's almost like a delay before you hear the voice. You don't know quite where it's coming from, which obviously that will have to be done technically and laid on afterwards, but what fun.
I'm the Lady of the Lake. I'm made of water. Now everything's flowing away from us, and I accept it.
You told me you make me beautiful, but you never did.
The barely recognizable Helena Bonham Carter also had great fun working on Merlin. Her character, Morgan Le Fay, is transformed from what she describes as being facially challenged into a vision of drop-dead beauty. The actress would have you believe she just made the character up as she went along.
I'm beautiful.
I'm nearly finished. This is my last day, and I still don't know really what she's like, Morgan. I'm sort of letting it happen, letting it come through. But she's not a bad. She's in the baddie camp, and but I'm not innately bad.
One of the great challenges for Helena Bonham Carter was working with 4-year-old Harry Whitewood. This was his first time acting. Listen carefully as one of the world's great actors coaches young Harry to please look up at Sam Neill.
Harry, look at Sam.
Master Mordred.
Look at him again. Harry, just look at Sam once.
Harry, look.
Look, I'm looking.
Harry.
Harry, just once. One more Milky Star.
The scenes with young Harry were fraught with difficulty and hilarity. Probably any 4-year-old would have done exactly what Harry did at this moment, make a beeline for his mother.
There's a wizard come to see us. Won't this be fun?
As it finally emerged on film, this scene is a tribute to artful editing.
My Lady Morgan. Do you know why I'm here?
Say hello to my son, Mordred.
Master Mordred.
That was rude, Mordred.
Might I make one adjustment?
All right.
He's getting second wind, sir.
The devil's motors. I believe he's over there.
Why has the rich mythology of Merlin survived for over 1,000 years? Why in the late 1990s is this story coming to life again?
We go, and action.
Why will millions of television viewers in more than 80 countries watch the recreation of events that occurred, or that we think occurred, so very long ago?
I think it's important to keep that world alive. And this other world, this fairy tale world, the magical world, raises our spirits.
I'm sure everybody would like to believe that there's some secret hope for the country, some person who in times of great strife, and God knows it's happening all over the world, will rise up and say, this is what we have to do.
Well, because I think it's a fairy tale, and it's a fairy tale that is not only for children. It's one of these fairy tales that you want to be told also as a grown-up.
Action.
Merlin.
Dearest, I think I have one last trick. There's no more. That's the end of magic.